Hello everyone and welcome to the first update Monday for Utopian Dream. A few things I want to say. Unlike most update Mondays, I've only had sort of half a week to work on it, and for most of that week I was reacquainting myself with the project and what I've got done so far. So I played through the game, took a look at all my files, was basically remembering what was going on for most of the time. And I'd say about half the work I have done on this since this last half a week, I forgot to save at the end of it. So yeah, but you'll see that later. Before we go in and I show you what I have managed to get done, I'd like to say, if it's ever later on in a Monday day, or it gets to Tuesday, could anyone please come at me and moan like, where's my update Monday? Where is the update Monday? Like, even if you don't care about update Mondays or anything like that, just come and get on my back saying like, where is it? Why is it not here? We want one soon. Is there a reason? Or are you just being a lazy bugger? Get off your backside and get working on this project again. See, that's one of the things. We'll go to this now. This huge city here is why I got lazy and stopped working on it before. Well, this is a town in the game. I made this map and I was like, yes, right, finally happy with it. This isn't the scale it is when you're playing through the game. This is the scale it is, so you can walk through it at this sort of scale. So when you're playing the game, this is sort of what you'll see. Then you'll move through the map. Obviously the screen moves with you, that sort of thing. So if you've not seen any of the gameplay or that. And then I was like, great, I've got this map done. Now I've got to make a map for that house. I've got to make a map for that house. I've got to make a map for that house. I've got to make a map for that house, that house, that house, that house, that house, that house, that church, that house, that building, that building, that building, that house, that house, that house, that house, that house, that building, that house, that house, that house. So you can see why I was just looking at this going, oh my word, what work have I just created for myself? And every time I sat down to do it, I just took a look at this map and was like, I'm never going to be finished. This is going to take me forever. And so I lost heart. Just every time I opened up, went to work on the project, I lost heart. But I have taken, you'll notice there's some maps here. So I have started, and I've done the hardest step, which is to start. Whenever you feel like that, the hardest thing is to actually just get started. And once you're started, it's not so bad. And you'll see it goes by pretty fast. But that's not all I worked on. We'll go to that file. And spam past this conversation because he won't let me go out until we're done. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Right, there we go. I have started adding books to the game too. And I'm not 100% happy. I think it was his house. Yep. I'm not 100% happy with them yet. And some of them are going to be important to the background, the lure, the sort of optional sort of information you can find out about this game's world. Some of them are going to be important to that. Some of them are going to be irrelevant, just basic storybooks lying around in the game. But basically all of them are just going to be books. But just like the real world, some books are about history, some books are about this. And at the moment this is the only book I've implemented, and I'm not 100% happy with it yet. I might tweak it. The main thing I'm not happy about is the sort of transfer. Well, I'll show you first. Right, if we hit Utopian King, do you want to read this book? You hit no, none happens. Yes. There, that's what I mean. The transfer sort of from the game to the book, I'm not 100% happy. I felt like it took too long there. And I need to figure out a way to sort of make the music start a wee bit slower, so to speak, as though it builds up to it a wee bit better. That's what I'd ideally have, and I'm going to see if I can get it to work like that, but I'm not sure at the moment. But we're going to go through this book just to give you as an example of what the books are going to be like. This book is called Utopian King. In the days of light, when no beast roamed our lands, there was a king of kings, and he was no mere man. No one knows where he came from, or even his name, but we all knew he had been sent from God. To this day, people still theorize he was God's son. We know even less about the time before the demigods. It was an uncivilized time, where the human race were no better than animals living in the wilds. 992 years after the Utopian King dragged our race from the dirt, he disappeared without a trace. We can't even speculate what happened to our leader, but I pray for his safe return every day. 8 years after the king's disappearance, and 1,000 years after his arrival, the beasts first started appearing. Are the beasts somehow linked to our glorious Lord and his creation of our civilization? What's happened to our Lord? Is he still out there? There is only one thing I know for sure. The answers to these questions may be better off unknown, for surely we will find them terrifying. Now that book is actually a history book for this world, so to speak, and it's little things like that you're going to be able to read, and it's just going to give you the background of this game, the sort of like the lure, the fluff, how the world got into this state. But as obviously there's going to be books that aren't history for this game as well. Some of the books may have like expanded parts of the storyline, not expanded parts of the storyline, but like the storyline might end up touching on a few of these points. Like obviously this one's pretty important to the backstory for the beasts and that sort of thing. So what was it? I'm trying to think of the right words to describe what I'm trying to say. So obviously this book's pretty sort of important for the backstory of where the beasts come from and all that, and it can explain things that are sort of only lightly touched in the storyline in greater detail and depth. And so this book was obviously about the Utopian King, and so he may come up in the storyline, he may not, but if he does, this book will give you a wee bit more information about him than you might have not known that you wouldn't have known previously if you just played through the game. But it's optional. You don't obviously have to drag your backside through all these optional extra pieces of nuggets of information. For those that just want to play the game, they don't care about the back lure and fluff, that sort of thing, they can just completely ignore them. But for people that do want to know a wee bit more, they're there, which I think is a really nice touch. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do a part 2 for this book or not, but for some there definitely will be. So this is like Utopian King part 1, but for other books there may be a sequel with even more information, and they're just going to be scattered throughout the world. This is the only one in game at the moment, and yeah. So now that I've showed you that, what else have we done this past half a week? We have made these slums, as I've called them here. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be wanting to call them slums yet, but what is it? Display name at the moment is Shanty for them. And obviously, That's super zoomed out because we just had that big map on, but if I put it to 1:1, this is how big it'll be on screen. And I'm not finished editing these yet. I do have, as you can see here, this is the basic sort of skeleton for these buildings here, these slums. Zoom out again, there's 8 of them. There's the 6 there and the 4 there that are the same sort of pattern of building, the same sort of design. There we go. They're the same design of building, so they've obviously all got the same skeleton. So I was able just to build one and then copy them to all the others. And then this one, I'm planning to have it as like not so much as a homeless shelter, but a group of homeless have sort of occupied it, and it's now a place where a lot of the homeless come and sleep. This one, I'm planning to have you get barred here. There's a guard here and he doesn't let you in because this is supposed to be an illegal drinking place, and they see you and they're like, get out, you're not supposed to be here, kind of thing. This one, these ones I did have all designed and built. I had one was like a gang, thugs had like a tons of food swords here and they were selling it at hugely extortionate prices, making lots of money, and you were going to get kicked out of there as well. Well, one of these was. I had other ones with families and I had them all designed, but I forgot to save when I exited. So I was like, oh damn it. But yes, so Chapter 1 is essentially finished. It just needs balancing, and I think the spelling has been corrected by Raven in Chapter 1, because my spelling is atrocious. I can't even say the word, never mind you can try and spell atrocious. There we go. So yeah, the spelling has been corrected Chapter 1, I think, by Raven. Chapter 2, there's no real spelling in it yet, because I've not even got that far in it. I'm still making the maps. In the version 3 demo, I'm pretty sure you'll spawn in Chapter 2, just somewhere randomly on this map. I think it's there. I can't remember where I put it. If I go into that thing up there, it should tell me, but I'm not going to it now because you just don't need to know it. But that's not where you're going to initially spawn in Chapter 2. That just lets you wander around this map. Obviously none of the doors are working. There's no way out of this map. So essentially the demo that's out now, version 3, is Chapter 1. So if you want to go play that, link in the description. Now the spelling wasn't checked at that point in time, but whatever, if you want to report back to me my spelling mistakes, I would appreciate it, because Raven's just one person. She might have missed quite a bit. Yeah, I hope to get version 4 out either for Update Monday next week or the following week. And I hope by then I'll have... I think it's going to take me 2 weeks to get all the houses done. I aim by next week, I hope to have most of them done. Then by the following week, I'm hoping to have them all finished and at least all the doors working, so that if you're walking around this map, you can go in this house and actually appear in the map for that house and walk out of it and all that. Because even look, how many doors have I got to do just for this map? This place is going to have several rooms to it that are you go through doors. I think, how was I planning to do it? I was planning to have a big hall here for like a church. Then I was going to have like a reception place here. Then I was going to have a homeless like shelter here, similar to like one of these. Then I was going to have a hospital sort of wing going on this side. Then I was going to have like the village, well, the town's sort of main priest and leader was going to have his like office at the back. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 maps just for this church, and each of them need transport between them as well. So that's 1, well, we'll just say 6 there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Then you've got to double that, so that's 86 event doors I've got to put in that actually just allow you to travel between the maps here. Then I'll have to put one, okay, so that's another 2, because I'll need to put one there and one here. Well, I can just copy that over so it works on either. So it was 86, that's 89. 89 events I need to put in just for the doors. So yeah, This city is going to be murder to get through, but I've started it. We're making progress. We'll get there. This wasn't even going to be the largest place I had planned. This was going to be the only town I had planned was this one. Most of the places you visit are like Chapter 1. You had there we go. There's little villages sort of like this, and this is what I was going to have to represent villages. As you can see, for anyone new to this game, as you can see, this world's populated with lots of events, people. So when you're actually going through it, this is... I've got to flesh out those other maps with these sort of things too. So that's going to take a god tier long time, just putting in things like chickens and cats and people to talk to. But yeah, so most places in the game are going to be like this. And then I did have one town planned, which is Chapter 2, Nigella. Nilgala, that's what I called it. Nilgala. See, it's been that long, I've forgotten even all the things I called the places. This is Nilgala. And then I did plan to have an even bigger place than this, that was going to be a city. With a castle and all sorts I've got planned. But I think I'm going to do that differently now. After seeing what a monster this map I've made is, I think I'm going to do it a wee bit smarter. Like, you don't see most of the city. You just sort of go through like 4 or 5 maps where you can just sort of see tons of housing on your right and left and that sort of thing, but you can't go over to those housing. So that'll make it feel bigger than Nilgala, but it means I won't have a monster amount of stuff to put in. I'm going to try and keep about as much content as is in Nilgala, so it's still going to take a long time to make, because I still want roughly the same amount of places you can go, and roughly the same amount of people to interact with, and roughly the same amount of stuff hidden in amongst it. But I'm not going to... It's not... Everywhere that is in Nilgala you can go. That city, there's no way I'm going to be able to manage that unless you just want me to take another 5 years making everything. But yeah, that's where we are at this point in time. Hope you have all enjoyed this. See you all next Monday for next Monday's Update Monday, where hopefully I've made a fair whack into this. Thanks for your time, everyone. Bye-bye.